Well, we meet again. I guess y'all can see where we're at. We're in the truck. So, I'm going to take y'all on a little adventure today. Got some places I want to go. There's going to be a few stops and cuts and skips and stuff like that, but we'll get there. I'm going to take y'all to a couple of eagles' nests. Now, I can't show you everything, every road to get there, and all that good stuff, but all these that I'm taking to you to see today, they are all public knowledge. They're on private property. If you're anywhere close to where I'm at, you probably know where all these are at. So, it's no big secret. So, I will warn you, it is private property. Don't cross onto somebody's private property. Go out there and see if you can get close to the eagle's nest. And that's anywhere you go. It is a crime to try to get close to an eagle's nest and disturb them and all that good stuff. So, I highly recommend you read up on your laws and all that stuff before you go out attempting to interact with an eagle's nest. But there's nothing that says you can't go get photos from a distance, or you can slam your camera around in the back there. And that's another thing. I'm going to show you some of my equipment today so you see what type of equipment I use. So, I say so a lot, just so y'all know. It's just, I don't know. I just say it. So. Okay, I'll try to avoid doing that a lot. But, hey, you notice I did turn off gestures. It didn't turn off the camera a few seconds ago. We're going to go to two, possibly three. And I'm going to throw in a surprise for some of y'all who may be interested in knowing something. A little cool fact. So you have to watch the rest of the video to get into that information. But this is just sort of my lead off and telling you about what we're doing. We're going to go find some eagle's nests, and I'm going to try to get some footage with my other cameras that I'll add in and splice into here so you can sort of see the perspective that I see with this camera, because this camera you're not going to be able to see much. I'll be able to point out where the nests are at and all that stuff, but you're not going to be able to see a good close-up perspective or anything like that. So you just can't do it with this camera right here. So I will shut it off for here, and I'll turn it back on when we get there and I get some stuff set up. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera back on. I'm going to flip it around to see y'all can sort of see. Okay, let me turn this so it's a little bit more visible there. Okay, Little Axe Schools, that way. We're going to turn right. And the only reason I'm showing you this is because I know you can't get out there close to it unless you're friends with the property owner, and he might let you go out there. Other than that, I don't recommend you crossing any of these fences. I think this road is called Little Jim Road, so I'm going to add this in here. Norman Fire Department, station number 5 is right there. And we'll go all the way down through here, which, if you're a birder, not just a person looking to see an eagle's nest, but if you're just a birder and you want to come get some bird photography, I'm going to show you a spot here as while we're going down here. So you got all these fields on the left and right hand side of the road as you're going down the street here. And like I said, this is called Little Jim Road we're on right now. And down here there's a 90-degree left-hand turn, and that becomes Alameda. But these fields on each side of the road, They are good fields for all kind of different birds. Just driving down the street right here and pull over and get out your camera and stand and listen and see what kind of birds you see. There's a lot of different birds in here, so just a little birding tip for anybody who's watching this who's local to Norman, Oklahoma area, so you can come check out some birds down here. Now, going to where the eagle's nest is, again, it's going to be very hard for you to see this, but I'm taking you there so that you can, if you wanted to bring your kids and park alongside the road here and bring some binoculars, you got to have binoculars to see this eagle's nest, then you might be able to see it. So what I do is I drive down through here all the way to this point. One reason I want to come over here is because, one, I want to check and make sure the eagle's nest is still intact, because the tornadoes we had last night and strong winds could have knocked this nest down. It's very likely. No, I see it. So what I do is I come right here to this strand of trees and I turn around right here. And I back up. And I park right here along the edge of this here road. Okay, now see if I can get the camera here and put her in park here. I'm gonna grab the camera down. So let me pause it for a second and then I'll show you. Okay, can y'all see the eagle's nest from here? I didn't think you'd be able to, so that's why I'm gonna get some other video footage. I can't really see. Let me see if I can get my finger right here to see where the camera's at. See this tree right? There's a big tree right in there. There's an eagle's nest right there in that tree. So that's what we're looking at. Right in there, there's an eagle's nest all the way out there, 1,775 feet from here. So let me turn this off. I'm gonna get some shots with my camera and some video, and I'll include it into this footage just so you guys can see what I'm looking at here with the camera. Video here, okay. Do y'all see that? I see a little eaglet. Y'all see it? Right there in the very front. I think we've got an eaglet in there. I'm pretty sure that's an eaglet. Can y'all see it? I am almost positive that is an eaglet for sure. Now let me focus this in on the nest. Let me get some video here. Okay, do y'all see that? I see a little eaglet. Y'all see it? Right there in the very front. I think we've got an eaglet in there. I'm pretty sure that's an eaglet. Can y'all see it? I am almost positive that is an eaglet for sure. Okay, so what does this mean? Now I'm going to have to get some photos, and that way when I get home I can put them on my computer, blow them up, and we'll see for sure if we got some eaglets. But if we do, y'all are going to get to see it, because you guys were with me when we found them. Yeah, I am almost positive. I am almost positive we've got an eaglet in there, y'all. Now sometimes when you're sitting here, matter of fact, I see it right there. Nope, that is another type of bird. Sometimes when you're sitting here, you can see the actual eagles fly around. So for me as a photographer, this is all digital. I can sit here and take 10,000 photos if I want to. Doesn't cost me no more film, I don't have to process. I do all the processing myself. So I say that because back in the day, the really great photographers, it's a lot easier again now that it's all digital. Great photographers back in the day, they had to make every shot count because they had to pay to have that thing developed, and you only got one chance at it. If your stuff was not right, then you were wasting film. And there's a bee. Get out of here, bee. So we don't have to do that today. We can just blast away, per se, in the sense that we can take as many photos as we want to. Hold on, I think there's one of the eagles right there coming back into the nest. No, I don't think it is. I can't see no. Can't see no white tail feathers, so I think it's like a turkey vulture or something. But so back in the day, you had to make every shot count, and you had to pay to get every photo processed and all that good stuff. So we don't have to do that no more. So you can take as many photos as you want to. It just means you have to sit and go through them all. But the deal is with me and anybody who's a digital photographer, with my shots, I like to take, even if I'm just sitting taking a good up close photo of a bird on a fence, I may take 10, 15, 20 shots of that bird, because every time, you see my head, every time their head moves a little bit, there's that chance that just that slight little motion of their head is the shot you want, and it's the right setting. And you may throw away all the other stuff. They may blink their eyes. It may not be the image you want. So these new cameras, shoot away. So I don't mean to sit there and hold your button down and not make your shots count. You're still trying to capture the shot that you want, but don't be afraid to take multiple photos, because like I said, you may get the actual photo you want by doing a couple in a blast. That was some crows. So yeah, I am almost positive, y'all. I am almost positive we have a little eaglet there in the nest that I see with his head sticking up just a little bit. Don't forget now, we're 1,775 feet away, and I'm going to show you the video here. Even with an 800mm zoom lens, this is what I get and what I see as a photographer. So from that, I'm going to include it into this video, because I'm recording over there and I'm recording video over here. I will splice this section of video in so y'all can see what I'm seeing, but my voice is being recorded over there on the actual other camera. So So that will give y'all a little chance to see what, you know, what we see as a photographer, the things you're looking for. So this is one of the nests. Again, let me roll up my window here so you can see this. This is a Canon R5 camera with a battery deal on it. Canon 200 800 millimeter lens. So, and I'm not bragging by telling you guys this about prices and all that stuff. I'm telling you because if you want to know, this is what you need to know. You can't go out with your, even with your iPhone and stuff like that, you can't go out and get the type of photos you guys see me posting with your iPhone unless you can get within 5-10 foot of that animal that you're trying to take a picture of. Then you can get some good details. And you can zoom out there, yes, but you, in the zoom on these iPhones and stuff like that, you lose your quality. That's where zoom lenses are worth the money. So a lens right now, I think I was looking on Amazon earlier, and it was, this lens right here itself is $2,000, and then these bodies are about 2,500. I think somewhere around 2,500 bucks. So, you know, you're looking at 4,000 bucks, 4,500 bucks just in this right here, and that don't include your foot pods and other different stuff you're going to add to your camera. And then you add in, let me pull you guys out of here and take you around back here, and I'll show you some other stuff here. So for me, put those glasses on so I can see here. Let me switch it around here. Okay, for me, I have, this is my Dwarf Labs telescope. This is for astrophotography. This is a neat telescope, goes on my tripod here. Dwarf Labs, I'll link it into my description also. Dwarf Labs Dwarf 3, I think is what this one's called. It's a new telescope that just came out. They're just shy of 600 bucks for one of those, but I mean, I can see the moon, and eventually y'all will see some of my photos I've shot from all that stuff. This is a teleconverter, a +2 that goes on my other lens. You know, those teleconverters, that one right there is like 600 bucks, but it doubles. So if you have a 200 lens, it turns it into a 400, and if you have a 200 to 800, that one does not fit this lens, it fits another lens. Then it makes it a 400 1600 type thing. So here's one of my drones. This right here is the DJI Mini 3 Pro. I have that drone to do drone footage with, and my new favorite drone is this drone. This right here is the DJI Avata 2, and this is the first person. It's got goggles you put on and you can fly it. I can do a lot of good flying with it, so I fly this one better than I do the other one. It's just a lack of using the other one as much, but it's handheld. You hold this controller, you got the goggles on, you squeeze the trigger, and you fly it around by just doing your hand and looking up and down and looking all around and all that stuff. It's a whole different experience flying a drone, and it's much easier. You can get into some places you probably wouldn't be able to with other ones just because you can't see. This right here is my robust tripod. So these drones, they're about $1,600 each. And again, I'll link all this in my description. I just want y'all to know, if you're looking for something, this is what I use. This is a robust tripod, carbon fiber, really light. I think one of my buddies told me about it, told me I should really get one after I saw his. We were up shooting eagle shots up at Grand Lake, and he told me about it after he had just gotten his. I think it's like $1,000. And then this gimbal head for the top of it, that's a Benro gimbal head. They're amazing gimbal heads to help with your camera control and all that stuff when you're out shooting. I think they're like $1,600. No, $600 just for that top head. Then $1,000 for this. Then I've got some other little carbon fiber tripods, walking monopods with a gimbal head. I don't remember all those different names and brands, but again, I'll link it all in there for you guys. But this is, I just wanted y'all to see again what type of equipment I use to go do some bird photography and eagles and stuff like that. Bird seed, hint hint, keep some in your truck. But that's just some of the equipment when I'm out doing my bird and wildlife photography. So it's not tricks, it's not whatever, you know, some people may want to say it is, but it's just elements of being able to do what you want to do. I mean, that's the whole reason you're out there doing it, is because you want to get shots of birds. So this was a nest that actually was not recorded with the people that I volunteered to monitor some nests in the state of Oklahoma. And so I actually got to name this one as the Little River Nest. And so this is Little River Nest because they didn't have it in their database. And I knew it was an active nest because I've been here. It's just I've never been able to get really good shots up close. So I'm going to turn you guys off there, and we're going to go check out another nest that we might be able to get a little bit closer to. So you guys hang tight. Here we go. Okay, while we're driving to this next location, I will share with you guys. So these links I put down in my description to different things I use and all that good stuff, that's called an Amazon affiliate link. And as an Amazon affiliate, you fill out information, you can become an affiliate yourself. So any products you put on your videos and people click on them and all that stuff, you get you know, you may get 25 cents per purchase that somebody else buys that product. Then I may get 25 cents off that sale, or it could be $1, it could be $10. I mean, not that I've ever had anything that big, but it could be, depending on what size, you know, of purchase people make, you know. Then you get X amount of thing per click that somebody puts in there. So it's worth it as a YouTuber, as somebody who's, you know, trying to grow and all this different stuff, to put the affiliate links to the products you use, which is why you see these in my descriptions. Because if you go and purchase that product because you saw it in my video, and I'll do some different video reviews on some of the different stuff I use at another time, but you know, like my Dwarf 3, my different camera equipment, all that stuff. If anybody has any questions about a particular product you see that I use, then feel free to ask me, and I will definitely do you a video on that specific product. But by you clicking on those affiliate links and going there, if you're interested in buying a certain product, and you go buy, you know, a new camera battery or something like that, because I put an affiliate link in my video description, it helps me out, and it gets you, you know, the product that you're going to buy anyway without giving anybody any affiliation link. So I hope those things help you guys. And one, it tells you exactly what I'm using, and I can help answer any questions you have on, is this product worth it? So I just wanted to add that in there, and I'll throw it into the video so you guys understand what those affiliate links and what those links in the description are and all that good stuff. So hang tight, we're headed to another eagle's nest. Okay, we're on the way to the other eagle's nest here. Let's talk about cameras. I was telling you about my Canon R5. Like I said, I used to shoot Sony, and I love Sony cameras and all that stuff, and they're expensive, but they have good quality. They're 61 megapixels cameras, so they have high resolution on the images, which means that you can take that shot that's a long way away and when you shoot it, then you can crop in much and get more quality out of that crop than you can whenever you have less megapixels. It doesn't distort and all that good stuff. So it's really helpful whenever you're shooting close up, within 20 feet, and you're shooting birds and all that stuff. That's how you get all those highly detailed, the way the feathers lay and all that stuff. And that's what I've always tried to do in my photography. There's plenty of people who shoot different styles and the way they want their image to be brought across to you. I always wanted to bring you the details. I want you to see the details. Everybody sees, oh, there goes a red bird. That's a cardinal. But I wanted you to be able to see the details of the way the feathers interact and intertwine on the body and all that good stuff. So that's what my photography has always been about for me, is I want you to see the details. I want you to see the things you've never seen that makes it a cardinal. I've always tried to make sure that the details were in my photos. And a lot of people are, they talk about the 2/3 rule and the 1/3 of making sure you're the subject of your photo doesn't take up no more than 1/3 of the image and all that good stuff, and that way you get the environment around it and all that stuff. Well, that's fine, but I want to show the details, which is why I usually, if I do take a shot and it, the image is sort of far off from the subject, then I'll crop in pretty tight to show you those details of the bird. And so you may not always see the environment, the trees around them and all that good stuff, because that's what everybody else shoots. So I've always wanted to show you the details of the subject that I'm shooting. So that's just my little part in there about that. But the Canon, there's so many different cameras out there right now. This Canon I have right now, the R5, it shoots at 48 megapixels, which is still very high, and it's good quality and all that stuff. But the majority, you can buy the best body you can buy, but it's the glass. The glass is what makes and breaks an image. So, you can expect to pay anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 for really good solid glass to make your images really stand out and get those details. But it is definitely the glass that is worth the money and the investment. There's lenses. Sony has its f4 600, the newest one out for it. It's right at $20,000 for a lens. I had my original Canon 500 f4. Originally that thing was $12,000 brand new. I did not buy no $12,000 lens, I can tell y'all that. So before y'all even think that kind of stuff, I did not buy one of those. I bought one that was a few years old, and I got it, for a very good price. I don't remember how much I paid for it at Bedford's in OKC, but had a small accident with that one. And like I said, luckily I had insurance on it at the time, and they covered my lens and my camera. So anybody who is looking to insure their camera equipment, I highly recommend you have a personal property insurance policy through State Farm. You don't have to have State Farm for anything else, but you can get a personal property policy for your camera equipment to cover it for insurance purposes, just like that. So but since then once I settled all the insurance stuff, I ended up having to buy another one. It's not as good as my original one, but I mean, it's a Canon 500 f4, but it was older than the one I originally had. But at the time, money wise, this was my best and only option. So I bought this one to replace that one, and I mean, it does good. It's got some. It takes great images, especially a bird sitting in a tree, or sitting still and all that stuff, because the new technology of the camera made it up to the old technology of the lens. It's a little slow if you ask me, but this new lens I've got, the Canon 200-800, it's a fast, good lens. It's straight from Canon. It's made for that camera, so it works well. So okay, we're almost to this other eagle's nest. I was going to take you to another one, but it's a little far out, and so it would take me a while to get there. And before I lose daylight, I figured I'd bring you over here to this one, and then I'll take you by a little special place and show you that too. So but yeah, talking about cameras, yeah, you can't cheap out on a camera. And these cameras you buy that has a built-in zoom lens and all that stuff, yeah, they can get you out there and you can see them, but your image quality is not going to be as good as buying a camera body and adding lenses yourself for doing this type of photography. I think Canon alone has 21 or 22 different lenses out for these newer full frame cameras, full digital cameras that are not DSLR. So okay, pulling up here, let me get in a position, and then I'll get some video to show you guys this nest right here. This nest is, again, it's public. It's very out here in the open. It's another one that's here in Norman, and this one is right here by 48th and Franklin, and this is called the Robin Hill nest. Let me back up here in my little spot, make sure there's no cars coming, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like from this side, and I'll take you around and show you what you can see from the other side. But again, this is it's a good ways away, so it's not like you can really see too much, but I'll show it to you, and then I'll get out and get some video with my actual camera, and then I'll show you guys what that looks like spliced into the video here. So let me flip the camera around here. Okay, can y'all see that tree right? It's hard to see on my camera, but there's a big tree right there, and there's a nest right there, right where the forks come down to that tree. Should be a tree right in there. So hang tight, and then I'm gonna turn this off and get some other footage, and I'll add it in. Okay, couldn't really see too good from that position, even with the big camera, because the way the trees are now. So again, here's Robin Hill Elementary School, and I will take you guys around here to the other side. So now we're going north on 48th. Oh yeah, you got to get some fuel too. Going north on 48th by the Robin Hill Elementary School. And I will take you guys down here and show you where you can sit in your car and sort of see if you want to bring your kids by here. Again, it's all private property. I do not recommend you go traipsing through anybody's property. So if you do that, you're on your own. You can see a lot of people, I guess, have come down here, and so I always come right down here and turn around, and then that way I can shoot out my driver's side. So we'll turn around here, get over here in the in the thick of stuff. Okay, now let's see if you can see. Get on my glasses here so I can sort of point to you. Okay, you see that big tree right there? That right there is the tree that the eagle's nest is, and you can see it sort of right in there. So let me pause it here and I'll get you some shots from this side with the regular camera. Okay, I'm gonna get you some shots here. Ready? Oh, you can actually see the eagle sitting there. You see the eagle sitting there? One of the eagles is sitting on the nest right there. See him? Yeah, hopefully you guys can see it. I'll try to zoom it in a little bit when I get back and put it in Lightroom and try to process all the stuff for you and add it into the video. There's definitely an eagle sitting on the nest right there. Let me get you some still shots. Yeah, I'll take and add you guys some of these still shots into the video so that you guys can see. We'll take and crop in real close, get good and close shots on them. For those that have never been here, that's a special place over there. That is the home of the late great Toby Keith. And I will get some shots a little bit closer here from the video. I'll take you by his front gate here in a second. But that's where Toby Keith used to live. Northeast 36 in Franklin here in Norman. This right here is his tour bus entrance, and there's somebody coming out right now, so I don't want to block their drive, you know, so this is Toby Keith's land right here. And again, there's somebody coming out behind us in a white Escalade, so I don't want to go too slow, but just for their own privacy. But this is his property, and here's their front gate. Dream Walking Ranch, Dream Walking Farm. So For anybody that's never been here, yeah, they're pulling in the front gate there, so that'll be the great Toby Keith's house for anybody that's never been here. I'll keep the camera rolling here and show you a little bit more here as I come around the corner. There you go. There's more of his house and all that good stuff. So there you go, for anybody that's never been by Toby Keith's house. This right here was his tour bus entrance, and there's somebody coming out right now, so I don't want to block their drive, you know, so this is Toby Keith's land right here. And again, there's somebody coming out behind us in a white Escalade, so I don't want to go too slow, but just for their own privacy. But this is his property, and here's their front gate. Dream Walking Ranch, Dream Walking Farm. So for anybody that's never been here, yeah, they're pulling in the front gate there, so that'll be the great Toby Keith's house for anybody that's never been here.